Welcome back to the absolute most professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce to you the Terran player in the blue in the top left of Dragon Scales. It's Micro Jackson. It's ByuN. Now, pretty much the greatest challenge. The most difficult player he could possibly face. Though, he's not the only player with him on the list. We have the rank 1 player in StarCraft 2, in my not so humble opinion, the greatest StarCraft 2 player of all time. The finisher. It's Serral. And since ByuN is not named Clem, he hasn't had the opportunity to face off against Serral, though they faced off many times before. And in fact, this matchup in particular, ByuN versus Serral, has created some of the most exciting, dramatic, second-hand, wrist-breakingly, mechanically intensive games I've ever seen in StarCraft 2 history. Will it again? Only time will tell. And you won't have much time, so I'm just going to take a little bit of it to beg you to like and subscribe. All right, Jimmy, what are we at? 1,131 likes, and I'll cast another series. And let's be honest, I'll probably do it anyways. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far. And if ByuN versus Serral won't make it a little bit better, you're probably on the wrong channel. ByuN has decided, not Reapers, okay? Not Hellions, not Battle Cruisers, not Cyclones, not Marauders, not Warhounds, not Hellbat. Okay, don't go through the whole... It's Marines. He's gonna make Marines. It looks like his entire strategy is Marines. You know, Marauders might actually be on the list as well. But he's got a 4 Rax Marine start. Serral has kicked it off with a very quick lair and a Roach Warren. He's been doing this mass Roach strategy. We saw it against Clem. Clem was able to cut through it, but not easily, not quickly. The margins are incredibly thin, nearly non-existent here, but yeah, this is the actual first scout it looks like Serral's really going to get. The lack of anything but Marines that he spotted so far is already a bit of a giveaway. But Roach speed, kind of obscenely early, into burrow move Roaches. I'm sure ByuN saw that series and knows what he's up against here. Or at least has an idea. But, as has been the Terran response essentially since 1998 to Zerg existing, why don't we throw more men with drugs and guns at it? And to which I say, hell yeah, brother. And here comes the Overseer at an obscenely quick timing as well. The Overseer even existing right now should be cause for concern here for ByuN. Proving indeed there is a lair completed. Not that that is going to change the outcome of this build. He's going to be sending those Marines across the map to see how much damage he can get done as soon as possible. And here we go. 26 Marines. He's cut out the medevacs. He's cut out the factory entirely. Just now starting it. Just marching across the map. Well, will Serral have enough Roaches to defend? He's got Roach speed on the... Oh, oh my god, what a bait. He's like 4 Roaches. Come and get me. Oh my god. Serral is pretending like he only has those. But here come the rest. He's trying to bait out a stim. ByuN will fight him heads up. He's targeting him down. Has Serral underestimated the firepower of that many fully equipped Marines? It appears he's estimated it exactly. He has just enough Roaches. And now with speed finishing, he will defend with only Roach losses in that one brave Zergling, but unnamed. Didn't have a speaking part. The Marines are trying to turn on it, but they're already so badly bruised and addicted to stims that, yeah, Serral just turns it around. Can he go all the way up the ramp? It doesn't look like it. ByuN actually has 50 SCVs. He did this off a command center first build. So he didn't have... it's not a horrible economy at all, and he already has all those barracks online. It's not like Roaches are the most utilitarian unit. Roaches are not finesse-oriented. You're essentially throwing a sledgehammer in whatever direction, even if it's underground. Underground sledgehammer. Sounds pretty terrifying. Not actually nearly as dangerous as you'd think. But the Tunneling Claws Roaches and Burrow to follow it up Those make them quite the nuisance. And Serral's been trying to throw in some drops, as well as Nidus. Just anything, honestly, dark might be Now this is what I love, is the Contaminate. Oh my god, what a save of the Overseer. Contaminates the first 2 medevacs. The Contaminate pausing production, just until they get all of the Zerg gunk out, or at least it melts away. The only player I've ever seen use it on a regular basis. It's just one of those Serral things that no one else really seems to factor in, but adds up to make some of the more dramatic victories. Nobody's looking at Contaminate like, how can I work Contaminate into my builds more regularly? But when you do, in early lair, what you don't have in economy can be made up for in several ways. The Overseer is not usually thought of as anything but a scouting tool, but Serral makes it work for him. And that's part of the benefit. Oh, he spots the burrow move. Yeah, he knows what he's dealing with. Those roaches will be shut down, but guess what? There's even more in the main. They drop in, and those things are going to be a massive pain to dislodge. No one makes roaches live up to their name more than Serral. Yeah, the extra regen while burrowed as well. How do concussive shells work underground? I mean, pretty much the same, I guess. Roaches still going to work. 2 infestors, and then a hive. Another scan for a single roach. Definitely not economically worth it, but another one. He got 3 scans out of him. For 4 roaches. I think that's already been worth it, as each scan is about 200-something minerals mined by a mule. Now, those minerals will eventually be mined anyways, but they cut into the economy and allow Serral to continually grind out that lead. He doesn't have a huge drone lead, but he does have 4 bases mining. And oh my god, look at that gas income. 1,200 gas per minute. All right, watch out, Serral. America's watching. Well, I hope they are. They're my biggest demographic. Like and subscribe. But Hydra's hive on the way. Lurkers in the future. Takes down the turret. ByuN dragged back by just a handful of roaches. The +1 is done for him. Unit's getting strong. You can see ByuN getting pulled out of position. Serral, though, has to come back to deal with one of the drops. Another scan spots the roaches underground. There is technically an animation. We'll see if we can spot it in a moment. But god, it's so annoying to deal with. And he's doing it so efficiently. He's like 3-4. He's not committing 20-30 roaches to some big crazy counterattack. It's 2-3 roaches here, 2-3 roaches there. Now, as with their real-life counterparts, if you got 2 or 3, you know there are probably more somewhere nearby. I don't think, unless they're in ByuN's vision, we can really see it. But now ByuN gonna try his hand at drops. He loads up, and he heads for the main. The big Doom drop, but infestors are on the field. The hive is spotted. The spawning pool, but he throws out a fungal, catches a chunk here. Great fungal. Stops this drop in its tracks, but then he realizes, you know what, there's still an opportunity here. The lurker den, the drop on the left flank, taken down. So far, oh, another fungal. I don't know what you expected, ByuN, but it wasn't enough. Well, cuts through the center. Hydra's on the field as well, joining, adding some DPS to the army, but 2-2 is about to complete. Not quite enough army supply here. Now ByuN forced to retreat yet again, as Serral has just enough creep. He doesn't have too many creep tumors, but he's been very efficient with it, catching another group of the army. ByuN starting to pull it apart here. The big weakness is the lack of anti-air. Fungal on the center mass, but there's enough medevacs to heal through most of it. And there just isn't enough DPS on Serral's army to compete. That is until the lurkers burrow on the high ground. They don't have their range done quite yet, but already something fearsome. No Ghost Academy for ByuN. No ghosts on the way. No liberators either. He's got 9 medevacs and counting. ByuN is on the clock right now. If the lurker count gets in the double digits, it's unlikely ByuN will be able to compete. We're not there yet. Only 3 lurkers on the field. And the drops will continue until morale improves or ByuN's supply is so low he has to GG. Another queen taken out. The lurkers will burrow. Successfully zoning out this area. Whittle mines. Take some bites. We'll eventually clean them up, but another drop coming in. More lurkers might get caught here. He stims. Works through one, but the other two. You just can't deal with this with conventional bio. It is a losing battle at every turn. This is the ByuN of old. The ByuN who tried to fit a Marine Marauder medevac peg in every single hole. And while that might arouse some of you, it should be concerning to the rest. Another Doom drop. Loaded up. No hint. He hasn't even started a Ghost Academy. It's not like he can't afford it. He's gonna... Can we see him? There you go. Yeah, they're quite apparent if you know what you're looking for. Especially on this map. Honestly, it really depends on the terrain somewhat. But the drop into the main, pre-scans, easy kill on the lurkers. It's not over yet for ByuN. He continues his way through the main. Terran through the spawning pool. More lurkers trying to make their way up, but still bound by terrestrial means. They can't fly nearly as fast as the medevacs can. Yeah, some might argue not at all. Another lurker burrows and is just slicing through. Held down by the fungals, eviscerated by the lurker spines. It's just too damn much. And the roach is inside the third. He scans, opens up the depots, because obviously they're already in here anyways. Serral tries to burrow his way out, but it's not going to happen. ByuN supply still at 170. Continues to maintain the aggression. But no Ghost Academy. No Liberators. ByuN is relying on Serral making a mistake, but the lurker count still at 7. I think he just hit double digits. That fateful number that I kind of arbitrarily said, but it is the number where there's just no chance of dealing with it with bio. But if you can divide and conquer, well, really that's the only way at this point. Only 2, 3, 4 lurkers. He splits, he stims, doing a lot of damage to the bio, but not enough. And ByuN wins the fight at the front. The drop dragged enough of the units back to open up an opportunity. He might be able to carry this through. More lurkers slicing through the army. It's just not working well enough. Look at the supply. ByuN is forced to retreat yet again. 12 more Hydras on the way. He tried to take another base, but the lurkers have already found a way at it. 13 SCVs down. Gonna chase down a lurker awkwardly. Takes it out. Another lurker. The amount of scans ByuN has had to use on burrowed units this game are unprecedented. There's still 8 medevacs on the field. ByuN begrudgingly kicking and absolutely screaming his Terran heart out. Builds a Ghost. Builds 2. Realizes that there's a reason they're so loved and hated. They are necessary, though. At least something that isn't. The lurkers are just too much. Even the Predator drones with this army. I don't even know if Serral realizes. But I think it's too little. And I think it's too late. ByuN waited too long to bring the ghosts onto the table. And now that table is going to get sliced and diced. Serral locks down game 1. It wasn't easy, but it was effective. Eventually we get there. ByuN was... What a ByuN start. I'm gonna go 4 barracks Marine with a command center first. And I won't stop making Marines till you pry them from my cold, dead hands. Serral says, that can be arranged. But an interesting spread off the Roach Burrow move style. Something a little more to deal with the Marines and potentially Widowmines. I do think that strategy is partially because of the volatile nature of Widowmines in the late game. As we saw against Clem not too long ago, with Serral in his only game trying against the mines, able to deal with them, but the sheer amount of time and effort they take to defuse, and they take to... Wow, what a... Okay, I need to talk... I'm sorry. Serral just did a double extractor trick 16 hatch. Before Overlord. Is this more efficient? This is a much earlier hatch. But you do severely delay your next... I know this is something we've been doing for a bit. But... I'm not sure if this is a response to the Threeper build, or if we've worked out this is more economical. You definitely get your second hatch up quicker, which means less vulnerability to like bunker rushes early on. I'm not sure if it works out to be a better economy, but I thought it was worth noting here. As I'll be honest, we're gonna, you know, Terrans have walls. I'm gonna break one right now. The fourth wall. The reason we usually skip the first couple minutes of the game is there has been no singular thing I've done. No amount of clickbait or anything like that here on the YouTubes. Thank you for watching the game too already. But nothing else but skipping the first couple minutes of the game has had such a dramatic effect on people actually watching the whole game. So, for those of you who love watching the openers and all the little details, I'm sorry, but you probably would have watched anyways. Those filthy casuals who don't care and only see drones mining, those are the ones we blame, alright? Don't worry. They probably tuned out after the first game and writing their comment about how Zerg is OP though. So, thank you for watching. I am very interested by it. I always want to go back and, like, do a build analysis and stuff like that, but I feel like I try to strike a happy balance between actually getting into the details of the builds, the mind games, and the back and forth, while still not getting bogged down by it. Because this game is hard, complicated, but exciting. And it should be commentated like that. Or at least most of the time, in my opinion. Third hatchery. Very passive start as ByuN with a ByuNker. And command, well, when you go command center first into 1-1-1, you're kind of light on the units. You're also light on the units if you're a Zerg. You go 3 hatch with no gas. So after that high-powered, high aggression game 1, game 2 will be an incredibly passive start. Has ByuN even scout outside his base? No, his build order is perfect and requires no scout. Ah, yes. The Horsicar. Scouting Hellion. On its way out. It feels... I think we've switched outright to roaches. Not ByuN. Dark had the right of it all along. This map is beautiful. We do see the Moopies over there celebrating another meal. Marine, another medevac, didn't quite make it home over there. So the Moopies will feast tonight. I'm sure that's not referencing anything. Any other Star battle games or media. Star skirmish? Not sure. They're everywhere. The more you look, the more you see them. Like Marines. Though, somehow, ByuN goes for 1-1-1 and it's still a Marine build. He gets a Cyclone. The Ghetto Viking play. A little more effective against roaches than just getting a Viking, but serving a similar purpose of killing overlords and denying scouting. Another quick lair out of Serral, but this time he's got 3 bases up and running. I don't think he's particularly worried about dying to the first stim timing, as it's going to be later. It's going to be with less units. We'll see how much ByuN can get done with the clone Marine drop. Snipes another overlord, but the roaches are out. Serral is already going on 60 drones. He's gonna have a lair done. Where are the only thing I'm wondering is where the evolution chambers are. Is it Spire? There's so much gas. There. Feels a bit on the late side, but yeah, already 400 gas in the bank as we're waiting for him. I think maybe, dare I say, a mistake, as that is definitely delaying his upgrades in a way that was kind of unnecessary. 25 seconds late. Washed up. Should Serral retire today or tomorrow? I don't know. You decide. Stim finishing up. Medevac heads home. He's gonna try to fight the roaches if he can get an opportunity, I'm sure. ByuN always looking for an opportunity to fight with Marine Marauder. 5 racks finishing up. Double drop. Load it up. Unheaded. Well, take some guesses. Overseer out. I still gotta keep going on about that Overseer from last game. I don't think it made or break. It wasn't like a make or break situation, but delaying the medevacs really gave Serral some more leeway at a very key time. Just so hard to manage the contaminates as they cost so much energy, and keeping those Overseers even alive for that amount of time is difficult. The roaches forcing ByuN's units to scamper back. And oh, wow. Oh. And some more roaches catching on the other side as well. Yeah, that is just ByuN looking the other way. So he has enough to chase the roaches back onto the creep. I do want to point out how efficient Serral's creep spread is. This is kind of a low queen style. I know, 5 queens, low amount. But he has barely as many queens as he has hatcheries. He doesn't have a bunch of extra queens when he goes for the quick lair. So he has to be more efficient with creep tumors. So he usually only has 1 or 2, but he's got them where he needs them. Very good about prioritizing that. Hive halfway done. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me repeat. Hive halfway done? Already. Gonna be a less than 9-minute hive. Just enough roaches to zone out the bio army. Not sure what he means to do with the hive. Vipers likely, adrenal glands, but actually kind of skipping out on the roaches this time and swerving in towards the Ling Bane. There are siege tanks on the field, no Whittle Mines here. So the Ling Bane, a little better against that in most cases. Of course, an entrenched siege tank is still incredibly difficult to deal with. Hive is done. 2 Vipers immediately. Just sprinting towards that tier 3 tech. Meanwhile, an armory just started for ByuN. But he does have a dangerous army already on the field. He's chipping away at the hatchery. Baneling speed is still not done. 15 seconds out. Siege tank from the back high ground there. Wow. Can shoot all the way down. Still going to work that hatchery at half HP. The damage dealt so fast here, but the Lings and Banes are rolling in. Already a lot of damage been dealt. Marauders. He's working on that bit of creep, or the bit where he carved the creep away. And ByuN using that as a staging area for this attack. Still working on the hatchery. Serral has the other hatch on the way. Ultraless Cavern. In production. Really working on that high economy Zerg. And ByuN has already shown he's not interested in going to the Turtle Ghost style, but instead is looking to meet him head on. And Ultras are about as head on as you get. Alright, Vipers on the field. Parasitic Bomb could be very helpful, abducting the siege tank as well. Yanks it over the top. Easily deals with it. Another tank on the high ground. Get over here. And the medevacs have realized, wait a second, you don't have any anti-air, and Serral is forced to go either forward or go back. And what a move. Takes out the hatchery. ByuN with the presence of mind mid-fight to head back into the fray. And he successfully gets Serral off his back and kills the hatch. So he mitigates the losses significantly by simply just turning around and going back towards Serral's base. Because despite the shift in unit composition, he's still lacking in any way to easily deal with these medevacs. I'm gonna come back in again. Serral has taken another 4, but ByuN is doing a good job of limiting it for now. Keeping that production down is very key. Armory and Engineering Bay are not really vulnerable, but at the 3rd here, things go sideways. Blinding Cloud on the back line, Banelings in the front, and he rolls right through the cloud. But there's plenty of Terran behind it. And it's a good thing that Armory and Engie Bay weren't on the outer edge. Otherwise, they likely would have been taken down by this initial assault. Serral is continuing to lay on the pressure here. Lay on the aggression. But, as of yet, unable to break through. ByuN holds the line. And ghosts are already on the way, almost preemptively. 36 Banelings in production. As Serral At 81 drones, he has a macro hatch. I don't know how much larva. That is another thing. Is nobody injects like Serral. Yeah, put that on your Tinder profile. But with this many hatcheries, this much larva, he always seems to have enough to refresh at least, like, few other players regularly are building 100 Zerglings at a time. Now, Serral doesn't often need to, but he always can if it comes to that. All right, Blinding Cloud on the tanks and the backline. The Banelings roll through in between the tanks there, looking for an opportunity, and actually ByuN holding pretty strongly. He finished the upgrades on the vulnerable armory and Engie Bay. That Serral refills. 58 Zerglings. He's still got 25 larvae. He's just deciding how to use it. I was wondering, did he actually run out? No, of course not. He's still got 20 larvae. Just ridiculous. It is a conscious decision what he's using it on. Getting to like 190 supply and then deciding how to fill in that last 10. I think quite a smart thing to stop yourself there and just kind of be like, do I really need 20 more lings or maybe a Viper or two? Very dead, Obi. Burrow on the way. +3 Carib is about to complete for the Zerg. Oh, we got some Liberators. Throws up the Corrosive Bowels, retreats the Liberators, just giving up the SCVs here. Serral is just overwhelming ByuN on the field, though. Parasitic Bomb on one of the medevacs quarantines it, but throws it through the rest. The Ghosts help hold the line. The last SCV at the base will repair the vulnerable engineering bay. That command center isn't landing because of a general fear of the ground. I'm not sure if there was something under it, but... the ground is where the Zerg usually are. I don't blame it. Spire on the way, though. It appears Serral's late game will likely be Broodlords. How much larva? 35 in the bank. Oh, you see? See, I told you so, guys. Oh my god, there was a Zergling. I'm dumb. How many times do I have to kill you? Oh my god. Cletus, put the command center down! I can't, it's too cute! Look at this scan! Oh, Serral comes in. 200. Supply. Yanks a tank. Gets another. And the Ghosts get a snipe on the Vipers, but the Banelings roll in. Straight through, right-clicked. Honestly, ByuN keeps taking good fights, but Serral is clearly winning the war. Roaches heading in from the north side. 85 drones, 65 Zerglings, 32 Banelings, 86 Lings. And he's still got 30 larvae in the bank. Absolute madness. He's always got another round. The Roaches don't have burrow move, but they do have burrow. You guys, there's an Overlord! We said put the command center down! Roaches. Still being annoying, right out of Liberator range. Anything to distract while the main brunt of the army comes in. Falls back, great siege tank hits. But I don't know if there's enough siege tanks in the universe right now to stop all of this. I say that. Well, it appears about 7 siege tanks might have been. If there were only 6 siege tanks in the universe, though, it would have been trouble. 86 more lings. I'm starting to wonder if Serral just doesn't have a hatchery hotkeyed. Maybe he's not a genius. Maybe he just doesn't have his macro hatch hotkeyed. Oh my god. That was it. You know, that's what we call a happy little accident. I was wondering why that number was so similar every time. It felt a bit weird. Yeah. Well, here we are. Fills it in. The Liberator targeted. Serral on point. Knows exactly where to fire it. There's still roaches underneath. Move that command center now, sir. We can't even see what we're shooting at. My god, how are these roaches still alive? 9-kill Roach. It's still going. He's gonna need another scan. ByuN is on borrowed time right now. Serral has been maxed out for, at this point, it feels like the majority of the game. He does have the late game Terran army. He's got all the pieces of it. But he doesn't have much else. He doesn't have the meat with his potatoes. Or wait, would it be potatoes with either way? Well, honestly, snipes on those Vipers are a huge deal. He's got 10 siege techs. He's got 4 Liberators and 5 Ghosts, but only 7 Marines and 8 Marauders. So his bio units are actually suffering. Both armories down here. I'm still surprised they've survived throughout all this. Serral's killed 100 SCVs. And he's not done yet. Cletus! Again! You guys aren't gonna believe this. Somehow, always one more burrowed Zergling. It's all about details. Finally, the orbital goes down. SCVs breathe a sigh of relief. The amount of times they've been killed at that base is too damn high. Zerglings simply run around and jump. Oh my god, he just went around. Serral is dismantling ByuN right now. Oh my god. Oh. Oof. Without even a decisive ending engagement. Rarely at this level do we see that. That Ultralisk Cavern was never even used. But Serral just... he just taps out. The submission hold there. To Serral's dominant Zerg. And, ByuN has had enough. Serral goes to match point. And it doesn't even look like he broke too much of a sweat there. ByuN fighting for his life while Serral casually builds 100 more Zerglings. Game 3. Potentially the final one. I'm not sure. It's at this point I'm wondering. What is it that Clem has that no one else does? Literally no one but Clem has beaten Serral this year. ByuN? He's still got a shot. Terran players, that is. Several Zergs have gotten the better of him. Very, very notably. But I'm hard pressed. Like, there's no part of the game where it feels like ByuN is gaining an edge. He's not able to really get anything done in the early game. And late, Serral just runs him down. 3 Rax Reaper. Well, when in doubt. Not the least bit surprising. From the man who got Reapers nerfed twice. And is willing to do it again. Now, let's see what Serral's response is. Maybe for my latter point's sake, at the very least. Well, he is mining gas, so likely Zergling speed. 3rd hatch on the way. I doubt he's going to be able to keep it. Yeah, that's exactly enough gas for speed. Serral starts it. 1 Zergling down. Reaper, not going to stop till the Queen comes out. Party's over. Well, not really, but a slight pause here until the next Reaper comes in. And then round and round we go. We just try to cancel the 3rd, gonna get started on it. The Speedlings won't be done in time. Overlord coming in, but it won't scout the 3rd Rex. I think By Reapers 4 and 5, it'll become very clear what this is. It's no longer really necessary to scout the third racks, but it does confirm what you've already heavily suspected. Yeah, he spawns it. Serral knows what he's dealing with. More Lings on the way. Does he cancel it? I think so. The last possible second. Quite literally. Plenty of Lings in production. He's gonna try to catch the Reapers on the field, it looks like. But ByuN is very aware of the timing that speed finishes. Right around that 3:30 to 4 minutes. Played it safe and assumed it was the earliest possible. The Reapers will evade the Lings for now. There's no other Overlords out on the field. So he doesn't actually know the Reapers are headed back in. And that, at the same time, that goes both ways. 2 Marines is enough? 2 Marines is enough for Serral to turn around and try to catch the Reapers themselves. ByuN has to be aware of this. Yeah. Who's flanking who? Is the eternal question. Well, the Reapers. So far, perfect game from ByuN. Only 5 Lings down for Serral. Queens can't transfuse while that creep is still spreading. Oh, gets 1. 1 transfuse, not 1 queen. Not yet, to be clear. For those of you listening on radio. Still holding on one of those jump locations. This map deceptively good for Reapers. It feels kind of open where Zerglings could get us around, but there's actually a lot of mid-map jump locations. Make it difficult to ever really get a hold on the Reapers. Baneling Nest on the way behind. Overlord sneaks into position in the middle of the map. Very important one there. Will make it a lot easier to deal or potentially catch the Reapers. Though, starting to move past the point of relevance as we get towards a lair. And, well, now a medevac drop. So at least spotting that for a few seconds would be good. Zerglings, one in on the rocks. Not all of them can quite get there, but the idea, the thought is what counts. Not really, it doesn't count, but they're clearly enthusiastic. That's what's important. Starport timing spotted. Lair on the way. Get some Banelings as well. Overlord taken out. Actually, Serral didn't have any other Overlords in production. He's going to be supply blocked at 90. That's kind of a big mistake. At this exact timing, when the first 2 medevacs are coming out, Serral now building 4 Ovies. But there's only 27 Lings and 6 non-speed Banelings. He actually needs way more Lings right now. He has the larva. But the Overlords are just now... Uh-oh. Oh, and that's like... That's the kind of thing those are the mistakes that Serral doesn't make. Well, let's say it Serral doesn't make twice. And now this is going to be a lot harder to deal with. He literally has double the Lings he currently has in production. Loses 2 queens immediately. Combat shield is about to finish. Baneling speed is still incredibly far off. Target fires 1, 2. It's just target practice. 1 Bane kind of connects. There's not enough Lings here. That 10-15 second window is all ByuN needed. And now the Marines are just doing too much damage. It's over. Just like that. ByuN taking advantage of the Ling deficit. That I've never seen such a clear example of a supply block changing the game. But literally, 26 Lings he could have built that just were not out in time because he just simply didn't have them. Well, ByuN, I'm sure he'll take what he can get. Probably a little surprised as to how few units, and that is part of the reason I think the roaches have become a lot more popular. Not that necessarily a supply block hurts as much, it's just if you have too few roaches, then they're probably not going to get run over nearly in the same way, because Zerglings rely on that critical mass, that overwhelming set of units. And it's become very clear, especially to players like ByuN, when you don't have it. So, you saw there, not enough Lings and only slow Banes are just target practice. So that means ByuN is on the board. Now, I wouldn't be changing my predictions on the series. I wouldn't be taking that one to the bank. If I was betting on Serral, I wouldn't be sweating yet. I'm sure ByuN knows that was a bit of a fluke there. Not something you can necessarily rely on. And, well, hopefully Serral does as well. But, we'll see. It's not going to be the 3 racks. I think the Reapers did kind of throw things off a bit, though not so much. God, it's... I think we get a little caught up in, like, that's an example. So many games, so many comments I see are like, well, Zerg or Terran or, never protest, but Zerg or Terran are OP because of this fight or this unit. When literally, all it takes is one supply block for 15 seconds and the game goes the other direction. Like, these little differences. The players are so evenly matched that Serral... it might be like watching Usain Bolt against the rest of the Olympic sprinters, who are all so much faster than you or I could ever hope to be. Ever. And maybe if both of us combined somehow, I don't... But... it's easy to kind of get bogged down in those more general discussions without realizing. Like, I think StarCraft really embraces the real-time strategy aspect. Where over at least 2/3 of that statement is real-time. It doesn't matter how incredible your theory crafting on exactly how many hits it takes for a Reaper to kill a Zergling. They all kind of pale in comparison to someone who's 10% better at targeting down Banes, or hitting their injects, or spreading their creep, or maintaining worker production. Like, all these mechanics, for better or worse, and I think it's both, depending on which way you want to argue, are what really make these players. All the stuff that's happened... Well, you know what? Let's go to the Serral action cam. The Serral who's now getting proxy star ported. Just the ability to interpret and act on information almost before you realize it. It becomes a second nature thing. And right now, not much to look at. Just your standard macro building up. Kind of surprised, like, probably wondering, what the hell? Why did he lose the Reaper? That's weird. And indeed it is. As now he has nothing that really keeps the queens busy at the front. A small mistake that could have significant consequences for the success of this Hellion drop. Because if the queens are even... Yeah, he's got queens in the main. Oh, yeah. Here comes Serral. He spots it. Gonna deal with it. Well, he micros some of the drones back. Gets 4. 5. Not microing them all. Trying to split just enough so the Hellion lines do minimal damage. Honestly, Hellion's still doing quite well for themselves. Tries to get the queens on the high ground. 11 kills. This is doing more than it had any right to. 13 kills. So despite Serral's quick response, ByuN is able to cut through with 13 drone kills. Honestly, I'm very surprised this wasn't a Liberator as well to follow it up. Just something to keep him on his toes, keep him busy. Are there more Hellions back at home? No. Can you believe it? ByuN is going Marines. Serral actually finished his lair, but he hasn't started Roach Speed yet. Gonna throw 3 Ravagers into the fray. There's a bunker at the front that Serral has not spotted. Honestly, I think Serral realizing he has an opportunity to break through because it's very unlikely to be anything but unstim Marines right now. But the bunker should pretty much stop any of this. He's gonna work on it. Serral has a very real chance of overstaying his welcome. Has those Marines very soon to finish stim. Star kind of awkwardly heading back. Hey boys, how you been doing? Who are those guys? I think I'll just mosey on over here. Yeah, well, I truly think Serral caught off guard by that stim. Corrosive Bow easily dodged. Who's this 3 Ravagers? Serral, quite off balance. Bodes well for ByuN, but Serral does have 3 bases. He has road speed on the way. Incredibly late. He had the resources. This is most of what contributes to my saying off balance. As if he wanted to go road speed, he could have started it like at least 30, 45 seconds before he did. And only now is it on the way. And without roach speed, it gets harder and harder to deal with drops. The first 2 drops are not being sent out yet, though, so that might be a non-issue. As it seems like it'll be done by the time the medevacs arrive. There we are. So being very efficient as ever on that creep spread. You can see just the few dots. So many players will just lay down 6, 7 creep tumors. They'll just queue it up all over the place. Queuing up extra creep tumors unnecessarily is less energy for transfuse. It adds up. Road speed, 2, 1, done. But these are +1 Marines and Marauders. Not something to be trifled with. The Overlord's also caught in the crossfire. Well, more direct fire, actually, but... Here comes ByuN. More Marines heading up. It takes out another Queen, spilling royal blood on the appropriate map. 16 more roaches on the way, though. Serral has 67 drones. A fully operational Zerg economy. And ByuN has just now taken his 3rd command center. He's kind of pigeonholed himself here into a 2-base all-in, effectively. If Serral recognizes that, which I think he will, as he has a changeling sitting outside the 3rd. If Serral recognizes that, he knows all he has to do is hold. He's about to have 1-1. ByuN can't afford to stop dropping now. Alright, or he's gonna get rolled. There's no way you can let Serral rest at this point. Because if he's ever able to consolidate his economy anymore, if he's ever able to just get his 4th base up and running and have enough to counterattack, ByuN can't keep up. 66 to 50 workers. He knows that. He drops the main. Infestors are about to pop out. Takes out another Queen. There's actually Zergling speed on the way, as it looks like Serral going to use the Roach Ravager to hold in the early game and again fill in the Lings and Banes. Well, no Banes yet. The Lings when he has the larva for it. It is a larva management thing, yet again. As a lot more stable to go for the roaches, and then fill in the Lings when you can afford them. Ling's a deceptively expensive unit. Not only in basic resources, but in that larva, which is so difficult to come by relatively early. Another drop inside the main. ByuN targeting might actually deny Zergling speed awkwardly here. We got some slowlings on the field, but this leaves him another opportunity on the low ground. Oh, the Infestors catches him with a fungal. Throws out another. Chains it together. And knocks out one of the siege tanks. More siege tanks on the low ground. Not the cleanest fight. But with those fungals, he is able to break the critical mass of Terran. The rally point across, and that's it! He's done! ByuN just taps it out because back at home as well, in case you're wondering if that was premature, oh my. Leave it to Serral to finish the game. He gets 8 kills with slowlings and a counterattack while blocking the command center with a changeling. The icing on the cake there. I gotta say, a decisive victory for the finisher. 1 supply block resulting in 1 victory for ByuN. But otherwise, the Serral train just barrels through. And it's a convincing, decisive 3-1 victory for the finisher. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again to Masters Coliseum and World Team League for giving us these great games. If you enjoy the commentary, it'd be awesome if you had the means of motivation. Check out Patreon, YouTube membership, or at the very least, like, subscribe. Make sure the right video is about to autoplay. You know which one. But I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.